you tell me about your show this year? It sounds amazingly interesting.
Yeah, I think the problem with my show is it sounds a lot cleverer than it is. It's lots of silly jokes mostly and me talking about myself, but it's also a little bit about consciousness and subjectivity, how we all have very different opinions about things, but we always think that we are right, or that something we think is universal and can apply to everybody. So that's kind of the loose theme, but it also is silly because I've been doing lots of interviews here and people go, so your show's about existentialism, and you go, oh, I wouldn't go and see that show. It is also stand-up comedy.
So what was the biggest struggle for like trying to tie in this big topic into comedy?
Yeah, so the struggle is sometimes you write stuff which is probably kind of interesting but not funny enough. So all the time you just have to be like, see you later. If you haven't got a good enough punchline or it's not funny enough to talk about, it has to go. I wanted to talk about veganism a lot because I'm a vegan, and what I found was if you really care about something, you can't be flippant about it, and you have to be flippant to be funny. You can't be like, hey guys, can we all just stop treating the animals so badly or I'll cry. Ha ha ha. And often the stand-up is about overwriting, and what's lovely about having an hour is that probably it's about 3 hours worth of ideas that you keep the funny bits from. Like, so my veganism bit now is a very short joke about hummus.
What brought it on for you? Like, how did you decide this is what I'm going to talk about?
Yeah.
Like, for example, were you smoking weed? Did it come from?
Yeah. Oh, no, the exact opposite of smoking weed. But much more. I was reading, actually, I think it started, and I've forgotten this, I was reading a book called Justice by an American, and he had a TV show that was on in America, and it was all about cases where neither side was right, and it blew my mind. So, for instance, there was this thing about driving. So driving, if everybody drove at 15 miles per hour, no one would ever die in a car accident or be run over. Yet if you asked a government, do you want to make that? People would say, no, but we would all lose out on how quickly we can get to places. It's worth 50,000 deaths a year. And you suddenly go, what? That is so absurd that actually, and people wouldn't. If you said that, you would be a mad woman going, shall we just all drive really slowly then? And people would go, no, that's progress and food needs to move around. And there was a lot about the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq and things about, they had like a shoot to kill policy if people found them while they were hunting the Taliban. And there was one case where a colonel didn't kill a goat herder and his son. And then they told the Taliban, and his entire squadron, or whatever they're called in the army, it's not a squadron, all his lads, they were all killed. And then he was tried for it as a war crime. But then the other side of it, where you're just shooting goat herders and their sons, is so horrific as well. So that really engaged me with the idea that there were all these unwinnable moral dilemmas. And then I started looking for them in things I could talk about. So I talk about things like 50 Shades of Grey, which is this kind of feminist thing, like created by a woman for women, but also about a woman who signs a contract putting a man in charge of her life. So it's like trying to find those grey areas.
Yes. Yeah, and then you get a lot of males who read the book, and then, like, I know this guy, and he actually now has a contract for a girl who wants to go out with him. And his argument was, well, women like this. Look at 50 Shades of Grey.
I didn't even know that anyone could take it that literally.
That's the truth. I'm like, dude, nobody's going to sign your stupid contract.
Yeah, also, like, how fantasy is a very different thing. That's the thing. Like, what you think might be sexy, if someone tried, you'd be like, what are you doing? Oh, gosh. He should be arrested as an example to the other men. I
will show him this. Before you go, would you like a drink?
I'd like water. Are you starting early?
Yeah. This is our bar. Welcome to the Yawp bar.
It's lovely. It's very well stocked.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
And you.